The SP404 Mark II keeps evolving. After 5 major updates, it's packed with features, but some of them are easy to miss. So here are 10 quick tips to help you make the most of it. Timestamps are in the description. Let's get into it. If you're new to the SP404, this is one of the best ways to learn it fast. So what I typically advise to check out first is actually a pretty new addition, the looper. We can live loop sounds and create a full track. Now the looper is actually pretty intuitive. All you have to do is hit record to start recording, and then if you want to overdub, you hit resample. So now we can just record another layer on top, but we could also move this sample that we've created to a sample pad. We can then start learning bus effects. On the next loop that I want to do, I want to turn on SX Reverb and let's say 404 Vinyl Sim. So now we could record a layer on top. So now we just recorded all of those effects only to that specific layer. And so from there, we could then get into creating patterns. I like to think of every layer in a track as a puzzle piece. And as you're building the track, think about how those puzzle pieces connect together. And one of the best things is the octave range of each layer. But if you have a sample layer, let's say, or a synth sound that's in this kind of lower mid-range, then you're gonna wanna think about getting a lead sound that's an octave up or an octave higher than that. So you can hear we have different octave layers. We've got our kick, we've got the bass, we've got the sample layer, then we have that lead layer. And so this lets everything sit without worrying about mixing in terms of EQ, filters. If you want to get more granular from there, then you can start going into creating stems out of your pattern. The groove function. So this is basically adding glitch and groove, like humanizing elements to a sample. In drastic settings, you can get some really cool glitch sounds that you could chop up. Now, let's test out though what it can do to some sort of ambient sound, right? And we've got it looping, so let's go into that groove. We'll change the rate. Now this is sounding like Silent Hill or something. Let's do a time division of 8. Yeah. So we've got the chop. Okay, I already hear. I want to move this mark to that little piano fill. So let's just assign to pad. Oh, I like that. My question today is, can we use a single USB-C to C cable to transmit audio and receive power from a laptop? So what we're gonna need for this to work is a laptop that has a USB-C port, the SP404 Mark II, or a similar piece of hardware that has USB-C. And then finally, and probably the most important part of this connection, is going to be the USB-C to C cable. Let's get these all out on the desk connected and we'll see if this works. The first thing I want to test is whether the laptop can power the SP404 without an external power source. So nothing's plugged into the laptop. I don't have any power. It's running on battery and I have the USB-C into the SP. So let's just first turn that on. Looks like we're good. You'll know if it's not working because something will pop up saying it needs to connect to batteries. But if it is working, it'll be just like this where it pops up and you've got your project. So now over on the laptop, it seems like it is still working as an audio interface because it's asking if I want to use this as the output. I'm gonna hit don't use, but I am gonna go into the settings, go to audio. Let's see if we can get it as an in. Yep, looks like we can. So I'm gonna hit apply, give it a sec to load. And then now let's make an audio track. And there we go. I actually already must have hit this ocean sound and it is playing, so I'm gonna just stop that. All right, so we're just gonna play a pattern to see if it sounds all right with no latency, things like that. Again, we're not connected to power. Yeah, it's pretty much 1-to-1. Perfect. Hey, so it works. For me, this is huge because this means I can have my preferred portable sampler workflow, but still connected to a laptop and to the DAW for future fixes, mixing, mastering, anything like that. Now we've got this piano. Let's go and add that lo-fi back. Let's resample that in. Hear that second round of lo-fi and compression? That's because if I shut it, it's got that first one. Because listen to what it would sound like without it. It's terrible, right? This is it with the one round because we baked it in. And then if we add it back here, check it out. Oh, it's so gritty and lo-fi. It's perfect. And that compression adds a little bit of bounce to it. So let's get into sound generator, do a saw and a cosine, and then a couple of different effects like Juno chorus and things like that. So let's put that in. We go into pitch speed, hold shift, we can fine tune the semitones. So I'm gonna just put it up, let's say 0.05. So hear how it now has a little more thickness to it. The other thing that I'm gonna do, since it's ambient, I want the cosine ones to kind of be the major sound. So I'm gonna put these two left and right to get a little more stereo width. So if we hit shift again, you can see pan. We're gonna go right, let's say 22, and left 22 as well. So we're just adding a little stereo width. So this is what it's gonna sound like in full. And I'm going to then merge all of these together. Let's put that in the looper. Drop the play rate like we're about to do, you're gonna change the pitch of it. I like usually dropping 4 semitones, and so 79.4 is roughly 4 semitones. But what we need to take note of, this little number down here, right under the play rate percentage, that's the BPM it changed to. So we went from 80 to 63.52. When you're doing sound generator, if you have a bunch of effects on, none of those are gonna get baked into that sample pad. So then what you have to do is the old school SP resample method where you add the effects and then put it to a pad. If you look right here on this little M right next to the BPM, you can go from 16 minutes per pad. Then if you go all the way to the left, you can start at 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars. And this is great because now you can actually get a perfect loop. Previously, when you wanted to record something, you would choose a pad and you gotta try to press it right when it ends to get that perfect loop. Hear that long pause? You can see at the end there's a big bit of silence. So we previously used to have to go and try to find that perfect loop. But now all you need to do is choose the duration that you want. And it's gonna end it for you, and it should loop. This is especially huge if you're doing synth or guitar because you now no longer have to worry about trying to hit that button. Let's just record in a sound and see what we get. I like that because when we start adding the drums, all those little imperfections are gonna work together in very interesting ways. Let's do a little sound generator. Let's put that there. Get a little filter and we'll add an LFO that's doing maybe 1. All right, that should do it. Hey, thanks for watching all of these. So these tips came from a bunch of SP404 videos and shorts that I've shared over the past couple of years. I figured it was time to bring them all together in one place as a quick reference. And if you want a more in-depth guide and tips for making the most out of every SP404 feature, check out my SP404 Mark II cheat sheet. And if you're just getting started or want to see more about the SP's workflow, check out my 5 things I wish I knew when I started with the SP. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.